Hello, I am Danielle. I'm going to do a solo playthrough of Aquamarine. This is a new game, rolling right game, where you'll roll two dice and you're going to explore the ocean, and you'll hopefully gain enough points at the end of the game to, hopefully rank high enough in the solo playthrough, and we'll see what happens. So at the top of the sheet, you'll see there's three ships, and then you'll see a bunch of icons here. So we have some coral over here. We have a jellyfish, a stingray. I forget what they call those. Cuttlefish, maybe? There's a shipwreck. There's some flags. There's a beacon icon here. Sorry, the flag was here in case you didn't see that. The beacon's here. We have an air bubble icon. And did I get everything? I think so. Oh, and there is a, what do they call this? I have the instructions printed here. This was a print and play, by the way. So it was a stingray. Oh, no. Okay, so stingrays are stingrays are, where are they? Oh, they're right here. That's a stingray, and a cuttlefish is that. So that's a cuttlefish. I guess the other type of fish would be butterfly. Yeah, butterfly. So that's what these are. Those are butterfly fish. All right. And then there's a bunch of different ways that you would score. In the solo mode, though, it's important to note that it is a beat your own score, I guess. There are score ranges to see if you're, a beginner or a master, things like that. There's rankings. But you'll notice these markings here. In the solo mode, you'll want to make sure that when you dive from each of your ships, that all three of your explorations go past the first line if you want to play as a beginner. And then the medium level and the hard levels here. So when you explore with your three ships, and you must explore with your three ships, they have to meet these depths of the ocean. And then you'll score. On the left side, you'll see -1 air, -2 air. So air is a bit of a limited resource. It makes sense when you're diving. And so you'll want to make sure that you're keeping track of that as you dive. And I'll explain as I play some of the rules so that it makes sense. So I made this into a laminate, and I'll be using a dry erase marker. Hopefully it'll be visible in the camera. But to start, I have two dice here. Hopefully you'll see the dots well enough. Maybe I should have gotten ones with clearly written numbers on it, but these are my favorite dice to roll with. So I'm going to stick with these. To start the game, you do roll one die. So let's roll. And I got a 3. So that 3, you'll notice here, there's a somewhat of a daytime, day-night dial, I guess. So depending on what you rolled, I rolled a 3. We are going to start here. So I'm going to just mark that off. So we're starting here during the day. And during the day is when we can get stingrays. During the night is when we get the cuttlefish. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. That'll make more sense in a bit. And then, starting a turn, you would just grab 2 dice and you roll. Now, like I said, I'll explain the rules as I play. So I rolled a 3 and a 4. During this turn, I'll be choosing just one of the dice to use on my turn. I'm going to choose a ship that I want to dive from, and then I have to kind of stick to that ship until I want to stop exploring from that ship. So when you choose a die, you could choose a number, 3 or number 4. And the way it works is if you chose a number 3 or number 4 at this point, you have to draw it in a way that it creates either a line of boxes or a square or a rectangle. So for 3, you can't make a square or rectangle, so you're just drawing 3 boxes. So if I were to go from this middle ship, I would enclose 3 boxes. So at this point, I chose the 3 and I enclosed the 3 boxes. If I chose the 4, I would be able to do, you know, I could extend it by 1 to do 4 down here. Or I could actually do a square here if I use the number 4. So for more of the even numbers, you'll notice you can do, you know, the 4 or 6 into a square or rectangle. But I think I'll stick to a 3 for now. I have enclosed a butterfly fish. And so that will gain me a point later. Something to note is if I did choose the 4, and say I extended it by 1 and chose the 4 and drew it like this instead of a box, instead of a square, I'll have to subtract the higher number, which is the 4, from the and the 3, and that means it's got 1. So 1 air is what you'll spend if you choose the higher number here. So to explain that a little more clearly, you'll have to subtract the higher number if you choose to use the higher number and the lower number, get that difference, and that difference is how much air you'll be marking off. And like I said, it is limited air. You have 12 air available per ship. So something to keep in mind there. In this playthrough, I'll just stick to the 3 so that I don't have to spend any air. And I've got what I wanted, just circled and enclosed, I guess, the butterfly fish. So at this point, you have to mark down that you've done this part of the day. And yeah. Oop. Okay. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and roll. Alright, that's a 6 and a 2. If I chose to use the 6 and enclose 6 boxes, that means 6 minus 2 is 4. I would have to spend 4 of my air, which that's a lot. So I'm going to try to stick to the 2, which I think I'll do. And any additional boxes you enclose must be orthogonally adjacent to a previous enclosed box that you've drawn. So I'll choose the 2 and enclose this butterfly fish for another point. And basically when it comes to these type of fish, when you enclose just one of them, they're worth 1 point each. If you enclose 2 of them, they're worth 3 points each, and 6, 10, 15 as you go on, and you'll see that scoring all on the bottom, how everything will be scored. So that might matter to you in terms of what you might want to enclose on your turn. But for now, I am just going to do that. So I chose the 2 and spent no air. Now I'm on to the next turn. I have a 3 and a 6. So that would cost me 3 air if I wanted to use the 6. And I think I will use the 6 because I want to enclose 2 of these butterfly fish. So with that, I'll be spending 6 minus 3, that's 3. I'll be spending 3 air, and I'm simply just crossing it off here. Alright, so that's that. Go ahead and roll. Alright, I will I think I'll try to choose the 4. And I could draw it in a line, which will help. And I'll draw it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have this air bubble thing. And if I pass this 1 air line, just bring this closer, the -1 air line, which I did right here, then that means I would have normally had to pay an air or spend an air. But because I enclosed an air bubble here, I don't have to. This means any type of air that I would have spent is ignored. So I was able to do that. And in a solo mode, I am doing the beginner, which is this line. So at least this dive has surpassed this one, so that's good. I don't have to worry about that. And then I'll cross off here on the time. And now this next roll will actually go into the nighttime, where the cuttlefish will be able to be enclosed. Nice, so I got a double. So when you get double, something interesting happens. You get to just choose one die as normal. So I'll choose obviously a 6. But whenever you get a double, you get to add +2 to that number. And you can draw this number in any shape you want. So you don't have to stick to a box or a straight line. You can kind of like curve around objects if you wanted to. So in this instance, I might want to continue further down, but I don't want the jellyfish because as you see in the scoring, jellyfish actually costs you 2 points per jellyfish. So to avoid that, I might be able to sneak around it by drawing my 8 because 6 + 2 is 8 and you gain that +2 because it is a double. I get to cover 8 boxes at this point. What would be the most efficient here? It might be nice to get a shipwreck here. If I can cover all of that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would not quite make it. Let's see. I think I'll go down this route of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can get some butterfly fish, so I'll do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I decided to make an L out of the 8 spaces I could have enclosed. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this will give me 10 points at the end of the game because I enclosed 4 of the butterfly fish. So that's how doubles work. And when you get doubles, you don't have to pay air either for that, I believe. Let's see. Does it say anything here about doubles? Okay. Interesting. If the 2 dice are the same value, no air is crossed off and players draw a shape 2 squares larger than the number rolled. But I don't think that means that I don't take the -1 air for drawing in here. So I do cross off that 1. But correct me if I'm wrong if you've played differently. So I will cross off the 1 air because I'm in this -1 air space here. And I think I'll stop exploring there. So I'll cross out the remaining. And then I'll focus on the other 2 ships because by the end of this game, the 24 hours, I would have wanted to explore with all 3 ships below this depth here. So definitely want to start now because I'm pretty down. Okay, a 3 and a 4. So something to mention here, you'll notice that there's 2 coral icons, but they're a little bit different. So you'll actually want to make sure you don't enclose 2 different corals in your enclosure because they cancel each other out. They actually get crossed out. You don't get points. But if you enclose the same exact coral, so say I drew like a box of 4 here, they're the same, I do get the points at the end of the game. And you get 2 per coral if 1 color. So this will be 4 points. If I were to draw the 4 here, I would actually have to cross them out, and they don't count for anything next turn. At the end of the game, sorry. So I will draw the 4 just like that. And excuse me, I didn't really explain when you start the game, you have to actually start drawing beneath one of the boats, and it has to be within one of the 4 spaces beneath one of the boats. So that's why I have to start here. This space is touching the boat, so that works. I do have to pay air of 1, so I'll cross out 1 air, and then I'll roll. I'll cross that out. I got a 4 and a 5, So the 5 will have to be a straight line if I want to do the 5. Or I could do another 4. I think I'll do another 4. And then I don't have to pay air, and I get 4 points later for that same coral. Mark off the hour. A 6 and a 4. Goodness, okay. I guess I'll do another 4. Although it's not going to get me any points, I'll still do that and not spend air. Mark off the next hour. Ooh, doubles. So that means it will be 2 plus the 2 extra you get when this doubles, and I don't have to pay air. So, wait, does that make sense? You don't have to pay air because you wouldn't normally have to pay air. So maybe I wouldn't have had to spend that air before. No air is crossed off. Maybe I should not have lost that air before. Good to know. Okay, so where would I draw the 4? I'll draw here. And that means I could, because I crossed off this, enclosed this icon specifically, that pertains to the research bonus located in this area of the score sheet. And you get to mark one of them off as a bonus. Yeah, so as a bonus you'll get later when you score. So I think at this point I'll do that one, the one with coral. So I'll get an extra point per coral at the end of the game. And mark off that hour. Next roll. It's a 6 and a 2. I'll do the 2 here. Mark off the hour. Roll. Doubles. There's 3. So I can do 5 in any shape I want, and I will do that. So I'll do this. You know what? That's not smart. I'll do it like this. I'll do it. 1, 2. Now go down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So that's 5 boxes I enclosed. Actually, I do need this one spot. Gosh, so I'm not going to want to do that. Okay, hold on. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how I'll do it. Now that shipwreck is completely enclosed. Actually, I think I should have waited for when the shipwreck was completely enclosed to mark this research bonus off. So you have to enclose this or discover the entire shipwreck to mark off the research bonus, I believe. So I did that a little early. Mark off the hour. I'll roll. 2 and a 1. Wow. Definitely need some larger numbers here. So I'll just take the 2. And I will have to spend that air for the difference. 3 and a 2. You know what? I'll just go straight down. Because I enclose a air bubble, I don't have to pay the air tax of -1. And also because I used a 3, it would have been an extra. So it would have been 2 air that I spend. I'll mark that off. Did I mark off enough of the hours? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So let me make sure I marked off 13. I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. All right. 6 and 4. That's pretty good. I can do a 4. Let's do that. And then I would get 2 points for that coral. And 1 point for that butterfly fish. Cool. Alright. Oof. A 6 and a 1. Should I just use the 1? I think so. I'll choose that 1. Oh, I should have paid 2 air. Because I made an enclosure in the -1 airspace here. And then just made my second enclosure in the -1 airspace there. So I did have to spend that. Okay, a 6 and a 5. It's gonna be hard. I'm gonna have to enclose a jellyfish, I guess. I'll do a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I hit the -2 air here, so I'll cross that off. And I think I'll have to start exploring here before I lose the chance to get down to this depth here. So I'm gonna shift over to this ship, cross everything out here so I know. I got 6 or 2. I'll do a 6, crossing off 4 air. 3, 4. Cross off that hour. Now I'm back to the day, by the way. So this cuttlefish is not something I want because I won't be able to score it. I have a 4 and a 2. 4 and a 2. I'll do the 4. Spend the 2 air for the difference. Mark off the hour. Okay, I got doubles. So 5 plus 2 is 7. So I'll be able to do 7. 7. How will this work? The coral will not count if they're all in there. Well, I'm gonna have to do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do have the air bubbles. I don't have to pay anything, but the coral won't score. So let me cross that out because they were 2 different corals, so I won't be able to really score on them. And then I'll mark off the day. Didn't have to worry about the air. It's a 2 and a 1. So I'll do the 2, I guess. Like that. I'll pay the 1 air for the difference of the higher number and the lower number. I do have to pay another air because I drew within this section of -1 air. I have 4 air left. And 4 turns left. 6 and 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll do the 3, so I don't have to pay the excess 3 air. But I do have to still pay the 1. Okay. I have a 6 and a 2. I guess I'll do the 2. But where should I do it? I think I'll do the 2 here to get a coral. And that does not cost me an air. And we have 2 hours left. A 5 and a 4. I'll do a 4. No, I can't. So another thing that I should mention is if I were to do the 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would be touching this, and you cannot do that. You're not able to draw an enclosure that touches another dive that you did. Okay? So that's important to note. So what can I do here? I can do a 5 here. I'll do a 4. And then the air bubble here means I don't have to pay any of the air that was required to do that. And my last turn, let's see if I could make a splash here. No. It's a 3 and a 1. I guess I might as well use the 3 somewhere. The only place I can really do it is I could do it here. And I got a flag. So that flag means I get 12 points at the end of the game. So that's the 3. I'll spend the 2 air. I didn't run out, which is good. And that was the last turn. The 24th hour. Alright, so let's get to scoring. I only had 1 research bonus, so let's just get that out of the way in terms of scoring. So we'll count how many coral I have and get 1 point per coral. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8. And that means for the coral here, I'll get 2 each per each coral of 1 color. So that'll be 16 because I know I had 8. And then for a creature, which is considered a cuttlefish or a stingray, I don't think I got either of those, so I'm gonna put 0. And then here we get -2 per jellyfish. I did get 1 jellyfish over here, so I'll get just -2 here. For fish, okay, so let's see. For the butterfly fish, I got 1, so that's 1 point. 1 here, that's just another point, so that's 2. 3, 4, and then 2 in A enclosure means it's 3 points. So 4 plus 3 is 7. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's plus 10, so that's 17. And then 2 here plus 3 is 20. And then the 1 is 21. Let me just recount that again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17, 18 plus 3 is 21. Yep. And then X for flags reached. So you can only choose one flag per dive. Even if if I happen to get multiple flags in this dive, I can only score on one. So I probably choose the higher of the two, or however many flags I circled or enclosed. I got 12 here, so I'll put the 12 there. Unfortunately, I didn't get any beacons. But basically, if I got a beacon during the day, like during this half of it, I would have been able to mark off the day. And if then I also got it during the night, I would have marked off the night. And for each pair that I did a morning and night, I would get 15 points. So unfortunately, I didn't get any. So it's 0. In terms of the research bonuses, I have 8. And then now you just add up the scores. So we have, there's going to be 37 minus 2, so that's 35. Plus 12 is 47. Plus 8 is 55. Not that great. So this was my score sheet. If you want to take a closer look. If you played along, hopefully you did a little bit better than me. But yeah, I like this game. It's super quick. 30 minutes or less. Excuse me. And I like that, you can make it more difficult. I did meet the requirement of having all 3 dives below this depth at the beginner level, so that's good. So you can make it harder by going on the second level or the third level, which I would have met the second level, which is good to know. Barely made it with the third level because this dive didn't make it, but yeah, overall very well done. I was very excited about this print and play for this roll and write. By the way, this is the low ink version, which I really appreciate when print and plays provide the low ink version, because I don't have a colored printer and I don't want to waste all the black ink on printing a what's supposed to be a colored piece of paper. So I do really appreciate this low ink version. It's very well done. And you do have to check out Aquamarine, maybe check it out on BGG for the actual art and color version, because it is beautiful. Definitely worth checking out. Let me know what you thought about this game. I know it's a little bit all over the place with the rules, but hopefully you understood how to play. And if I made any rules mistakes, definitely let me know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.